Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Stasia Bliss. We are going through the runes right now. So the main part of this video is going to be about the next rune, the fourth rune, Ansuz. And I didn't even pull that rune out. And then I'm going to introduce from my other business partnership that's going on, a crystal grid that you might be interested in. That's for emotional support during times of change, alleviating depression, helping you feel empowered, grounded, connected to your community. It's a group of 9 crystals and a Palo Santo. So I'm going to go over that in a minute and how you can get that. $144 value for only $55. It contains some amazing stones that are really helpful during this time. But let's begin with Ansuz. So this is different from Fehu. If you remember, the Fehu looks like an F also, but with the lines going up. You'll probably find that one. So let me do a real quick recap since I'm not doing these, day after day. There's a little bit of a space time in between the runes that gives you some time to work with them if you're following along. If you're finding these later, you can obviously watch them in order. And then maybe it's more notable to you that the Fehu looks very similar. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yeah. So Fehu was the first rune, remember? And that was property, that was wealth, that was, the cow, the, inheritance, not the inheritance of Otella, but what you have, your physical reality, your physical property, your physical wealth and abundance. And then we went to the second rune, Uruz or Aruz, and it is the plowing of the field, the oxen, right? That raw energy. Remember we talked about the eunuchs and them being penetrated by arrows, but not caring, like not being affected, that raw energy, right? That's coming through and must be channeled towards something. And then we had number 3, Thorisaz, which was the hammer, Thor's hammer. And it was like taking that primal life force energy and channeling it into moving through obstacles, right? And like plowing things out of the way in that you're meant to get somewhere with it. It's a more like focused power. And it can be used to move through health issues or to focus on something specific to move, right? So now we're at Ansuz. And this is translated as mouth in the language of the fourth ruk as an alphabet. And it generally is meaning like communication or throat chakra, or can mean like a teacher or a mentor or somebody sharing wisdom with you. I like to think of it also as the manifestation coming with Fehu, like here's the world, if you want to think of it as creation and life force, like coming in and beginning to be directed towards something with Thorisaz, and then it being uttered, like the utterance of the word is the Ansuz. Okay, so when this shows up in a reading or if you're working with it, it is to cultivate the power of speech, power of communication, the ability to translate information vocally or verbally, or if you're working with singing or sound or mantra, this can be an awesome rune to use, to have around, to draw on your musical equipment, to draw on your, anywhere where you're working with voice or music or sound. And it can be like an apprenticeship, right? Or someone's going to give advice or their opinion. And so when this is coming in, if it's coming in upside down, it might be like a deception, or it might be something you don't want to hear, or something that's being told as a lie, because this would be like true power of word communication. But if you're receiving it in the reversed, right, there's a distortion of that. And that might just mean you need to work on the throat, depending on what other runes are surrounding. So Ansuz, the the teacher, the sound, the mentor, the vocalization, the power of the voice, that life force energy being channeled through sound, the word, the intonation, the om. So if you think of it in terms of the om, and with my background in studying yoga and going to India and all the tantric teachings and Ayurveda and all this, the om is like thought to be the initial sound of creation. But if you think of that as Ansuz, then you see that there's things that precede the initial creation with the sound. And it is like taking a look at, okay, what is already present? What is the wealth from the previous cycle? And this raw energy that's going to move through the physical body with Uruz and then Thurasas, and sending it out and behind Ansuz, the voice, into creation, right? So at first it's still kind of internalized, it's still reflective, it's almost like the power of the life force, but Thurasas is trying to break through the barriers so as something can be realized, and now we need to add the voice or the teaching or the word or the sound with Ansuz. So with that summation, I want to kind of move into the bundle now, the grid, and I have this on a tray right now, but I will post a picture. Of how I like to set this up in the house. So there's a Smokey Quartz Lingham in usually see Shiva Lingam in India, but the shape is like, the lingam is a representative of the male creative energy. That's manifestation energy, right? That's the ability to create with the feminine Shakti, with that life force, right? So this is the piece that you hold or that you carry with you in your pocket, and the rest is set up in a line, or if you want to set it in a different grid shape. But this is inspired by this full moon Cancer that's coming up, and I want to talk about that a little bit today too. Cancer is the energy ruled by the moon. This is the Moonstone, or one of the moonstones that you would get. Look like this, and there's a little bit of sheen in there, if you can tell from the Moonstone. And the back is raw, and the front is polished. So these are from India. And moonstones are resonating with the moon, and the moon is symbolic of the mother, of the fourth house of astrology, house and home, early childhood, emotions. The moon rules our emotional state, right? And so it's a full moon in Cancer, which means it's opposing the sun in Capricorn. Capricorn and Cancer are opposing. That's the father and the mother. So they're not really opposite like this. They just are holding very different energies of masculine and feminine, right? So we have the masculine energy of the lingam. We have the feminine moonstone leading up this to help with emotional support. And a Smokey Quartz gets its color from radiation in the earth. So if there's negative connotation to radiation, which there is, too much radiation will kill you, this crystal takes that and transmutes it into this beautiful color and makes it a positive symbol and resonant tool of transformation, of transmuting the toxins and the poisons in our mind, our body, our thoughts, our environment into something beneficial. So in this case, emotional healing, emotional support. And then, I like to line these up so they're radiating into my home environment. And then I'm going to touch each of the grid points. And then take my Smokey Quartz with me in my pocket. So second, we have a quartz crystal, either like this or in a different bundle from Brazil, or a cluster rather. So it's growing right out of the quartz, and you'll have some points and some of them multiple points in other pieces. This is inspiring clarity, vision, clarity of mind. We also have an amethyst root crystal from Brazil. So those are both from Brazil. These are beautiful specimens. This alone could be like a $20 piece. but all 9 crystals are only $55. 55 is the number of change, so supporting you in change. These are gorgeous root specimens. So you get one of those. You get a raw lepidolite, which has natural lithium in it. That supports depression, right? If you have enough lithium, then you don't feel depressed. Often you get a prescription for that, but these stones contain it naturally, so you can sit with those. Also containing a Labradorite from Madagascar, a cabochon. Could be made into a necklace if you wanted, but Labradorites symbolize magic, right? With their magic colors, and also transformation. Possibilities, like opening to possibilities. So a piece of that is included, as well as a raw tiger's eye. Look how cool this is. Usually you see polished tiger's eye, but this is a raw chunk. So helping you access raw potential, power, courage, as that resonates with the solar plexus or third chakra. So that one is there. You get a piece of Rutile Quartz. These golden rutiles are just stunning. If you can see the little hairs in there. This again would be like a $10 piece. There's some beautiful rutiles. These have been found actually to alleviate depression, for one thing, to actually help with chronic conditions, breathe better. They do support the respiratory system. And also metaphysically, they've been shown to help bring together like your community or your family of like-minded. So that's a great resource at this time to have emitting into your home. Remember, crystals, they are concentrated light and sound, right? The colors and the minerals have specific frequencies. And they're concentrated, so they're like emanating it because they're locked in, right? So they're vibrating in a certain frequency based on minerals, geographical location where they're found, and the colors of them, right? And what they're able to do, or maybe what their shapes are, right? And then you get a piece of black tourmaline from China. This is a nice raw chunk. Tourmalines are thought to add protection, and be very grounding, and even absorb negativity or negative energy, including EMF, radiation, and so forth. So you get all of those crystals, plus the smoky egg and a Palo Santo stick to clear and make the intention for what these crystals are for. And if you don't want to hold, like lay them out in a grid in your house, you can do whatever you want. Of course, you can put them around the house. Maybe there's members of your family that could use one of the pieces, or maybe you sit it over their bed or under their pillow or under your bed, so you're getting this energy while you sleep. Anyway, we have a limited supply of this, brought to you by my partner company, Midnight Fluorite, IG Live Sales. You can find us there on Instagram, or through me on Instagram at Bliss in the House, or you can just contact me directly if you want to get one of these while supplies last. $55 plus shipping. If you're in continental US, that's about $10 to get it anywhere right now, or if you're out of the country, we can find an international price for you. If you're local to the Utah area, you can pick it up at no charge. But again, a beautiful set to lie around the house, to carry with you during this time of emotional turmoil and change. So speak up, Ansuz, the Rune, if you would like one. Again, while supplies last, we have a limited number of these grids available. So if you want one, just send me a message. And I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, like, subscribe so you get all the Rune videos and any other video that I am putting out. Get back on track with sharing some other stuff. But I hope you're joining me on Instagram on Midnight Fluorite IG Live Sales, where we do free tarot readings during the shows, Friday and Saturday night. So if you're around, catch us. We usually go till midnight Mountain Time. And I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, if I can serve you in any way, if you'd like a full reading, you want your cardology done for your birthday for the year, your astrology chart read, if you want to do some shadow work, this new, and I want to talk about this in another video, but this age of Pluto in Aquarius is going to bring up a lot of subconscious fears. So shadow work and doing that work to look at what is buried under there and see it in a positive light. That's really about this next 19 years that we're in. So if you want to do some of that now, get a jump start and be ready for all of everybody else's stuff coming up where you can hold your own, then reach out and we can do that work together too. All right, much love to you. Thank you for being here and being you. I love you and namaste.